Ten,
Semi to Tick Studio.
7, 6,
Stomach
5,
camera 1, mics 1 and 2.
3, 2, 1.
Tick Studio.
Good afternoon, MCHS, and welcome to another episode of MCTV News. I'm your host, Dan Foley.
And I'm Jasmine King. On today's episode, we take a look at the Townwide Cleanup, the second installment of Grind My Gears, and the dangers of illegally dealing candy. But first, our top story.
This year marks the 25th anniversary of the Roger Champagne Memorial Bike Trip. Students from MCHS will cycle almost 300 kilometers in Rocky Mountains. A lot of preparations go into this, including weekend training rides and a presentation where the bike is donated to one lucky student from the Champagne family. Skylar Lomola brings us this report.
2016 marks the 25th anniversary of the Roger Champagne Memorial Bike Trip. This year, it's a 4-day, 300-kilometer excursion across 3 national parks. It's no small feat, as students spend 6 weeks of training beforehand, as Mr. Batterstein explains.
And it's just to give the kids an opportunity to get used to riding at a fairly long distance. Most students are not familiar with riding like 70 or 75 kilometers in a single day. So we start out easy, relatively speaking, I guess. We started about 35K on the first ride, and then by the end of the 6-week training rides, we've increased our distance to about 60 to 70 kilometers. We can't simulate the hills in the mountains or the altitude, but we can certainly get the kids used to riding long periods of time, getting used to riding their bike, knowing how their bike reacts, do the brakes work, do the gears work. Just gives the kids an opportunity to notice if there's anything wrong with their bikes as well.
Despite all the exhaustive training they do, riders explain why they look forward to the trip.
The bike trip's a lot of fun. You get a ride through the mountains, enjoy the views. It's just relaxing. Break from school. It's my 4th year now, so I'm excited.
When you see these kids, when they've come up the other side and they realize they've done it and they're feeling good about themselves, that is just an indescribable feeling. And you can't put a price tag on that, or you can't put a mark on that. And that's, to me, one of the most rewarding, it has been probably one of the most rewarding experiences for me as an educator over the last 2 decades. And that's why I will continue to do it until someone pulls me off the road or they say, get out because you're done now, you're too old.
Well, I haven't done anything like this before, and I thought it'd be a really good opportunity. And Mr. Batterstein makes it really possible and easy for me to do it. And my friends also go on, and they said really good things about it. I'm really excited. I'm kind of nervous, but the other people in Mr. Batterstein make it sound really fun.
This year also marks the 23rd anniversary of the bike presentation, an important part of the bike trip in remembering the life of Roger Champagne, who supported the trip from the very beginning.
For those of you that don't know the story, Roger was involved with the bike he drove the chase vehicle for the first few bike trips that they had. Roger and his wife Lorette never had children, but they treated a lot of the kids in the community like their kids. And so Roger was killed, as Greg mentioned, nearly a quarter of a century ago, and yet here we still are. So we tried to take a tragic event and make it a happy event. Uncle Roger's memory alive because he was a really special guy.
So the bike presentation, every year we ask members of the students that are on the trip if they are interested in perhaps applying for a bike. That the family is very gracious to donate every year. As part of that process, they have to do a small write-up about what the trip means to them and maybe what Roger's legacy means. And based on that write-up plus my observations of them during the training rides, we basically will then come to a consensus on who's going to win the bike.
Who exactly was this year's winner?
And I am very pleased to announce this year's recipient of the brand new bike, Ellie.
Hopefully the bike trip will be a blast. Reporting for MCTV News, I'm Skylar Lomola.
Welcome back. As you just saw, the school's bike trip to the Rockies is once again almost upon us. And joining us in the studio today is the year's winner of Roger Champagne Memorial Bike Award, Ellie to talk about the trip and sweet ride she won earlier this week. Thanks for joining us today. So first off, I just wanted to ask you about what did you have to do to enter to win a bike this year?
I had to write a personal essay about what the bike trip and the hiking trip and just being outdoors means to me, and everything like that, and about what I had to go through on the training rides and why I'd like the bike.
Cool. So what was it like meeting the Champagne family?
They were really nice, and they seemed like a really close-knit family, and like the whole group.
Cool,
Really nice.
yeah. And just like, so like the bike trip this year, I understand we're going to the Rockies again, so tell me a bit about that and the trip.
So we're going to start in Kootenay in BC and then travel all the way to Jasper, and there's a lot of hills to go through.
So last year you went, right?
Yeah.
So what was your favorite part about last year, and like why did you coming back this year?
I just like going through the mountains and being outdoors all the time, and like getting to go through with friends all the time.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Yeah, so do you have a favorite part from last year? Or?
I think just all being around the tables when we're eating, and then the whole group is like sharing jokes and everything and playing games.
Yeah, that's really fun. So like what are you looking forward to most this year?
The new path that we go through, traveling from Kootenay to Banff, and then just spending more time in the Rockies.
So how, like, from what I understand, the hills are really high. What kind of speeds do you get there?
Pretty slow.
Pretty slow? You have to go up a lot of hills too?
Yeah.
A lot of work? Yeah. All right. Well, thanks, Ellie-Ann. Coming up after the commercial break, I'll be back with your 7-day forecast for Morinville.
Introducing the all-new Pocket Steven.
I cannot find this answer anywhere. I'll use Pocket Steven.
I don't know.
God, you're stupid. Oh my god, what a waste of $50.
Well, what's her problem?
Caution, some attitude may occur.
Are you tired of failing homework assignments and exams? Well, fear no more. The Kingston Brain Implant instantly increases any IQ to that of 150. Using our advanced fusion technology, we can easily apply the implant with minimal pain. Soon, you will be acing all your schoolwork and no one will ever be the wiser. Warning, this product may cause rabies and addiction to World of Warcraft. Please use responsibly.
Welcome back. Here's the weather for our country today. So in Whitehorse, we have plus 20, very sunny, and we also have a high of 13. In Yellowknife, Iqaluit is at 0 with actually snow. And in Vancouver, we have 20, Regina 3 with rain and snow, Winnipeg at 5 with some rain, and Toronto at 23 with a little bit of sun. We have Montreal at 27 with some sun, and we have Halifax at 17 with some sun and cloud, and then we have St. John's at 5 with a little bit of rain. Now let's take a look at our provincial forecast. So in high level, we have a little bit of sun at 17, Fort McMurray with full sun with 11, Grand Prairie with some sun at 13, 14 in Edmonton, same sun. We have Jasper, a little bit of rain at 8. Red Deer, a little bit of rain at 9. We have Banff at 4 with some snow and rain. Calgary, Medicine Hat, both raining at 6 and 10. Let's take a look at our drone. So today, live view of Airwolf. It's a little bit smoky today from the Fort Mac fires, but other than that, it's looking quite nice out today. Let's take a look at our current conditions. We have plus 8 for the high with some cloud. Wind is 17 kilometers. We have relative humidity at 42%, sunrise at 5:38 a.m., and the sunset at 9:24 tonight. Let's take a look at our 7-day forecast. Friday, Saturday, all sunny throughout the week. A little bit of rain on Wednesday and Thursday. It's going to be high of 14 Friday, 18, 19, 21, 24, 22, and 20 to Thursday. That's it for our weather, and back to you, Jasmine.
Thanks, Dan. Last Wednesday on May 4th, MCHS participated in a town event to help clean the environment. My co-host will take you through the process of this event in which teachers and students volunteered their time to pick up garbage around the school area and other parts of Morinville, also known as the Townwide Cleanup. Here's the story.
My construction class, we helped with the Townwide Cleanup. We went out and cleaned a field just behind the school. We're picking up any garbage, any sort of litter that may have been on the ground, so it can be disposed of in the landfill properly.
We received bags and gloves, and we would go out in teams, and every class was assigned a different part of the town. We'd go up and pick garbage in that part of town, drop the bags off in a dumpster, and we'd come back here.
The town of Morinville comes to the school and says, do we want to do this? So obviously we do, and it's basically they bring us the bags and the gloves and we section them off, and they give Slurpee coupons at the end. So it's a little bit of organizing, but it's something well worth it.
I think this is fantastic for the teenage stereotype. These kids, they're a valuable part of our society. By going out and doing this, we're just proving that we are a very, very important part.
Because of course you have those kids around here that just throw, stuff on the land or whatever.
We got good teenagers in Morinville, and I know that we're not fulfilling that stereotype. We're actually helping out a lot today.
I think people need to give teenagers more credit than they already, than they are doing.
Right. It's one of the most important events for our school to do. It gives an opportunity to give back to the community, and to show that teenagers are awesome. Because what happens is, a lot of the time, is that people out in the community will think, teenager did this, teenager did that, and lump all of the teenagers into one category of, being not such great people, and they are completely, utterly wrong. So this way we get out in the community, do a little bit of giving back, and it makes us, our school, and teenagers as a whole look really good.
It's all about helping the community and helping out. We got to pay back our dues, and this is a great way to do it. We go around, we pick up garbage, and we just help make this town a little more beautiful than it already is.
From all of us at MCTV News, I'm Daniel Foley reporting.
Welcome back. Here's what's happening in the world of sports. The World Hockey Championships taking place in Russia this year. Even though Canada didn't play yesterday, some other countries were in action. Finland shut out Hungary, scoring 3-0. Sweden demolished Kazakhstan with a final score of 7-3. Belarus took on Slovakia, and Belarus won the game 4-2. Switzerland faced off against Latvia and came back to win the game in the third with a 5-4 victory. In the NHL, the St. Louis Blues won the series 4-3 in Game 7 against the Dallas Stars, and the Blues ended up blowing up the Stars with a 6-1 victory. Robbie Fabry and Paul Stastny both had 1 goal and 2 assists. In the NBA, the Toronto Raptors played the Miami Heat at home. The Raptors came out on top with a 99-91 win, and Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan combined for 59 points in the win as they took the 3-2 series lead. Portland faced off against Golden State, and the Warriors end up winning the series with a 125-121 win. Klay Thompson had 33 points, and Steph Curry had a double-double with 29 points and 11 assists, as they will advance to the Western Conference Finals. Turning to the majors, Toronto lost to San Francisco 5-4 in extra innings. The Cubbies played the Padres in a doubleheader yesterday, and the first game of the two went to the Cubs as they won 7-4. The Seattle Mariners played the Tampa Bay Rays and ended up walking off the game in extra innings with a 6-5 win. The Nationals took on the Tigers and won 3-2. St. Louis played the Angels in Los Angeles and won 5-2. The Yankees faced off against the Royals, and Kansas City came out on top with a 7-3 victory. Boston squared off against the Oakland Athletics, and Boston blew them out 13-3. And finally, the Dodgers played the Mets at home as the Mets won the game 4-3. Up next, we bring you the troubles of online gaming and gaming in general. Join Shalom McNaughton, where he breaks down what he thinks is wrong with the gaming community and what fellow students think as well.
Welcome to another episode of GMG. I'm your host, Shalom McNaughton. Today's topic, the gaming community. I don't like it. I'm a gamer myself. I just really don't like the gaming community. So many things wrong with it, like the microtransaction, or all the service, connection failures. I can't connect to my game. Why is that? I don't know why, But you know what? Who knows? Other gamers. Gamers that play online a lot. Let's continue going. The gaming community, as awesome as it is, I just can't get into it. So many falls about it. Parents complaining about it. There's just kids playing amateur games, and they're swearing in front of their parents. That's the gamer's fault. Not the kids' fault either. It's the parents. But enough of what I have to say. Let's see what these people have to say. Roll it.
What grinds my gears is like how the FAC, the VAC engine, which is basically an engine inside online gaming, mainly Valve created games, and how it works, but it kind of doesn't work because there's easy ways to get around it. And it's annoying because people risk losing their accounts, even credit card numbers if they've made online purchases within that game. And that kind of grinds my gears because kind of like lots someone's like personal savings.
Well, like there's a lot of things that kind of irk me about the video game online community, but one thing in specific is if you play the game Pokemon, there's a global trade system which allows you to trade with anyone in the world. And most people, like, they put up Pokemon, they're like, here's a level 1 Bidoof, which is like the suckiest Pokemon ever. And they're like, I want a legendary for it, and it has to be shiny, and like all those stupid things. And it's like there's just so many things in the GTS looking for any Pokemon that you just can't get any because you have to give up like a super important Pokemon that was really, really hard to catch, and like you feel really personal like with it.
Well, just gaming in general really grinds my gears, really rustles my jimmies, is just the community. Never will you find a community of gamers that is nice, respectful, and just appreciates the game in general, or any other gamer's skill level. All the time you'll be called swear word, swear word, swear word, you know? It's never a good time.
Thank you for watching the second installment of GMG. I am your host, Shalom McNaughton. For the next week's episode, I will be talking about Mr. Boss and what grinds my gears about him. Until then, this has been Shalom McNaughton with GMG. For in other words, what grinds my gears?
Let's take a look at what's going on around MCHS this week. On Saturday, May 14th, there will be a bottle drive to raise money for the Fort McMurray fires. If you would like to participate, grab a sign-up sheet in Student Services. Have any questions regarding a career in the Armed Forces? Sergeant Dan Pagnetti will be here on Monday at lunch to answer your questions about the military. Interested in a trip to Vietnam and Cambodia next year? The first trip of a lifetime meeting for the 2017 trip will be held tonight. Also, if you're interested, you can talk to Miss Whittle or Miss Krulak for more details. On May 18th is the Student Council's BYOB, Bring Your Own Banana. Student Council will supply the toppings to create your own banana split or sundae. $2 for the toppings plus another $1 if you don't want to bring a banana. Although grad isn't till June, May is definitely a busy month for the grade 12s at MCHS. On Monday, May 23rd, the grad class is organizing a bottle drive on Wednesday. And on Wednesday, May 25th, a bake sale will be held at lunch. If you are able to work either event, please sign up in room 207 ASAP. Please bring in your pop can tabs from home and drop them off in the bin in center court. Freddie says thank you. Need to get your MCTV news fix? If so, head online to www.badasign.net. Our digital archive is expanding and will soon include all episodes aired during our last 22 seasons. For all this and other school info, keep connected by listening to the daily announcements, logging on to the school's website at www.mchs.gsacred.ab.ca, following the school on Twitter at MCHS Wolves, or following MCTV News on Twitter at MCHS MCTV News.
Coming up next, Stephen Pritchard brings us the stretched truth about modern-day candy addiction in a somewhat darker light and the effects it can bring upon you and your friends in this comical piece.
Hi, my name is Sans. I've been a candy dealer for about 10 years now. It's a pretty good business, like 10 cents per poppet, and the FCIs have been on me for like 2 more years. They sent agents after me, but I'm not going for it. I'm still on the run right now.
My name is Gary. I've been an FCI for about 3 years now. And I've been trying to catch this guy named Sans. He's been a real problem lately. Like, his crew is getting out of hand. They've sold so much candy that like candy stores aren't even getting money anymore, and this is starting to become serious.
Okay, I'm gonna show you where I kept the candy for like 5 years. Dang it! The FCI was here. Gotta go find him.
So like I said, I've been FCI for about 3 years now, and this is the usual spot where he hangs out, Sans. Hey, you mind get some candy?
I know you're FCI.
You got a runner! You got a runner!
And sometimes they don't like candy. Here's your candy.
This isn't the stuff you promised.
Calm it, bro.
Don't you tell me to calm it.
Ah! But I shot you.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
Next time.
Don't you need your money? It's a customer. Hello.
Can I get some candy, mister? The formality.
You're an FCI.
No. And sometimes you just get shot. No. Oh.
Are you okay?
Just. Oh.
I'm just gonna go.
Oh. And here are some of the terrible effects that candy has on people. I got an interview and what it has done to Shalom. So, tell us, how long have you been candy-free for?
I have been candy-free for over 10 minutes now.
And how is that feeling?
It feels amazing.
Do you have any side effects right now?
Well, I'm not hydrated. It's such an amazing feeling. It's just like I'm free now.
It's terrible. This is what candy does to you guys. Okay. Bake it.
On Monday, May 4th, Mr. Greg Baldassine has a bunch of interview of the Town Moorville dog shelter. Is it hot in here? Back to you, Mr. Baldassine.
Be sure to tune in next week, because next week we're going deep undercover to try and get Sans, because his rage will not go on any longer. I'm reporting from the FCI. Gary out.
That's our show for today. Thanks for tuning in. Coming up next on next week's episode, we get a look at MCHS production of Sweet Surrender, My Strange MCTV Addictions, and take a look at a horror of a calculator. All this plus sports highlights in your Morinville 7-day weather forecast on next week's episode of MCTV News.
So it looks like we're going to have some fun pieces next week.
Yeah, a calculator, some addictions.
Yeah.
It's going to be great.
Yeah, definitely. I'm actually kind of excited for these pieces.
Yeah. Well, from all of us at MCTV News, I'm Dan Foley.
And I'm Jasmine King. See you next week, MCHS.